today's news. Former parliamentary candidate Bektiar Hajiev under police control. Hural newspaper fined. IRFS representatives hold press conference on PACE winter session and UNESCO events. Radio license appeal. Sport Azerbaijan celebrates presidential origins. Residence appeal rejected. Ganges City Prosecutor's Office sentenced former parliamentary candidate Bektiar Hajiev to 2 months of police control. Hajiev told Objective TV that the judgment is partial and some facts have been distorted or concealed. According to Hajiev, the prosecutor's office judgment says that Hajiev attempted to leave the country citing his education, while the prosecutor's office, in fact, was not aware of Hajiev's reason for visiting Georgia. The date of Hajiev's detention at the border was also wrong. Hajiev claims that this judgment was made as the prosecutor's office found no legal reason to prove him guilty. He assessed this judgment as an extension of the political pressure for another 2 months. Hajiev also added that the political pressure inflicted on him was associated with the statements he made during recent parliamentary elections, which were close to those of the opposition, and the planned youth projects which were not favored by the government. Today, February 3rd, Narmonov District Court heard the lawsuit filed by singer Shobel Askerli against the Hural newspaper. Judge Sevinch Guliyeva presided over the hearing. The Hural editor-in-chief, Avaz Zeynalov, represented the defendant's side, while no plaintiff representative was in attendance. Zeynalov said in the hearing that they have reached an agreement with the singer and she will submit a statement of withdrawal in the next hearing. However, after the deliberation, the judge decided to fine the newspaper. Thus, the newspaper has to pay 3,000 Azeri manats. Zeynalov said that they would be filing an appeal against the judgment as they consider it unfair. The judge didn't allow the Objective TV employees to take photo and video records in the hearing. Moreover, Objective TV employee Ahmad Aybatov was forced to leave the courtroom. Azerbaijan singer Shobel Askerli filed a lawsuit against Hural newspaper, citing humiliation of her honor and dignity in an article published in the Hural newspaper on March 4, 2007. Under the previous court judgment, the newspaper was fined at 100 Azeri manats. However, the newspaper failed to pay the fine because of financial problems.
IRFS representatives Amin Husseinov and Rasul Jafarov held a press conference today at IRFS to discuss their participation in the Parliamentary Association of the Council of Europe Winter Session and parallel UNESCO events. Husseinov thanked the Open Society Institute Assistance Foundation for their financial support for the trip. He reported that he and Jafarov had held numerous very productive meetings during the visit and had presented reports on the human rights situation in Azerbaijan. Husseinov mentioned the threat issued by Parliament Speaker Oktay Asadov, who had called for serious measures to be taken against PACE participants. He and Jafarov had drafted a response, which was sent to NGO representatives for signing. Jafarov criticized the PACE report on the last parliamentary elections in Azerbaijan, on the grounds that it did not reflect the reality of what had happened. According to him, the PACE meetings focused on the media situation, the hijab ban, the arrest of religious followers, and the human rights situation in Nakhchivan. IRFS representatives also presented at the International UNESCO Symposium on Freedom of Expression. The symposium discussed international media problems, including assassinations and harassment of journalists. Jafarov's speech focused on Einullah Fatulayev's arrest and the defiance of the European Court of Human Rights ruling for his immediate release by the Azerbaijani government. Another event held by UNESCO focused on the self-regulation of the media and new media. During this event, the Azerbaijani representatives asked questions about the Press Council and Media Ombudsman. The event participants informed that the state's budget's share in the financing of the council should not exceed 49%. Any more risks making the council dependent upon the authorities. As for the Media Ombudsman, the event participants unambiguously condemned the transfer of powers of the Media Ombudsman to the General Ombudsman, which is what has happened in Azerbaijan. Rasul Jafarov and Yasar Agazadeh went to court today for an appeal against the National TV and Radio Council, which has refused them a broadcasting license for a new radio station. During the hearing, the plaintiffs requested the judge to appeal to the Constitutional Court for an explanation of Article 19 of TV and radio broadcasting legislation. This law does not give any time frame for the announcement of the competition for radio licensing, and as a consequence, the National TV and Radio Broadcasting Council has been able to operate a broadcasting monopoly. The judge rejected their motion. Both sides presented their arguments, after which the judge postponed the hearing till March the 3rd. Jafarov, the founder of the TV and Alternative Media Development Centre, and independent journalist Yasar Agazadeh, appealed against the NTRC in order to obtain a radio broadcasting license for a Baku and Absheron frequency. The NTRC told them that there were a number of available frequencies, but refused to assign them an official one or to grant them a license. The plaintiffs have asked the court to deem this illegal behaviour for a government body and to compel the NTRC to give them a license. The lawsuit was rejected by the Sabail District Court. The founder of Sport Azerbaijan TV channel is our respected president Ilham Aliyev, said channel director Elsevar Dunyamaliev in an interview with Media Forum News website. He was speaking about the channel's second anniversary and expressing his gratitude for the president's special interest. No other country in the world has a sports channel that is broadcast for free. People have to pay for a subscription. This free broadcasting demonstrates how much President Ilham Aliyev cares for our people, said Dunyamaliev. Though the state-run AZ TV channel became a closed joint stock company in 2005, it remains, along with Sport Azerbaijan and Culture TV, a state channel. But Azerbaijan undertook to annul AZ TV as one of its obligations to the Council of Europe. By turning AZ TV into a closed joint stock company, the government attempted to present it as an independent channel. The Baku Appeals Court heard an appeal by the victims of Azerbaijan's 2010 spring floods. The residents were appealing against the Sabail District Court judgment, which had refused to hear the lawsuit they'd filed against the Ministry of Emergency Situations and the Cabinet of Ministers, demanding compensation for the psychological and material damage they had suffered. The plaintiffs, Kurd civil society organisation representatives, and other NGO representatives were at the hearing. After deliberation, the judge upheld the Sabail District Court judgment. Kurd Civil Society told Objective TV that the residents would be filing a further appeal with the Supreme Court. The flood victims are being supported by the Legal Education Society and Kurd Civil Society.